The amount of taxpayer money paid out in police brutality cases is insane. It was announced recently that the family of Philando Castile would receive a $3 million settlement. This comes after the officer who shot him 7 times was acquitted on all charges. Now, there is no way to measure the pain and suffering felt by victims' families after such a tragedy, but one way we can shed further light on the issue of police brutality is by highlighting the sheer amount of taxpayer money that is being used to settle these cases as a means to right the wrongs when unfit officers kill people. Between 2004 and 2014, the city of Chicago paid out more than $500 million for police misconduct-related lawsuits. Oh, and by the way, that did not include the recent $5 million settlement awarded to the family of Laquan McDonald, the unarmed 17-year-old that was killed in October 2014 when Chicago police officer Jason Van Dyke shot him 16 times. An investigation, by the way, that has seen 3 current or former Chicago police officers indicted on state felony charges of conspiracy in the investigation. Similarly, in fiscal year 2016 alone, the state of New York spent $228.5 million on police misconduct lawsuits. So in one state alone, in a single year, nearly $250 million was spent on police brutality payouts. But this is not new. In fact, in 2014, Alternate argued that in order to tackle the issue of police brutality, we have to stop using taxpayer dollars to settle cases that have nothing to do with the general public, and has everything to do with police departments that play host to violent officers trying to make up for their wrongdoings with dollar bills. Now, I have my discrepancies with making that argument, but those same authors also expressed optimism that through both the use of video footage and by taking the payments out of police budgets, the number of cases reported would decline. But fast forward to the present day, and we are reminded case after case that even with the most clear-cut video, officers will still not be convicted for brutalizing black Americans. And the sheer expense that these cases cost the police departments does not seem to have them reconsidering their protocol either. But that does not mean that this monumental amount of money should fall on deaf ears, because after all, right-wingers scream relentlessly about how this is costing taxpayers money and this is costing taxpayers money.
It's no secret that the Obama administration blatantly wastes your hard-earned taxpayer dollars.
Yet they remain silent over billions of dollars used to compensate the victims of brutal policing. And rather than discussing possible solutions, you have Donald Trump and Jeff Sessions doing everything they can to undo Obama administration legislation to help combat the issue of discriminatory policing in areas where racial bias is rampant. Oh yes, let's remind ourselves that the current Attorney General made a decision to order a wide-ranging review of the federal consent decrees with local law enforcement agencies that have been accused of brutality and violating civil rights laws. And those decisions not only reinforces the idea that black lives still don't matter, but that the Trump administration has no problem with continuing to spend billions of dollars settling such cases, dollars that could otherwise be put to much better use. Now, in all honestness, I don't have the answers. I don't think taking the money from the police departments themselves will do anything but cause a backlash from the unions that protect the majority of brave officers who take the oath to protect and serve. And it will only make matters worse. Taxpayer dollars are used to sue these departments, and in turn, taxpayer money is used to pay out the settlement fees. It's said as a public service. So if we demand that police unions pay the settlements for specific cases of brutality, those good cops who we depend on to stop their fellow officers from committing acts of police brutality or racially motivated mistreatment will suffer also and will be discouraged. Good cop, rolling with that bad cop. So it's not cut and dried. But my question is why those in power are not vocalizing their concern about the amount of money spent settling these cases. Because if they care so much about taxpayer dollars that they say they do,
we have tremendous waste and abuse in this country. Department of Environmental Protection, where they're actually going around and causing damage.
Where is their outrage over this issue? And why do they seek to worsen the problem by rolling back decisions to reform this broken system? If they are not outraged at the cases themselves, which they clearly aren't, I mean, how much did they say over Philando Castile's cold-blooded killing or the disgraceful verdict? You would think that seeing the effect it has on the only thing they care about, the bottom line, would give them pause. But that would mean going against their unspoken oath to back the blue no matter the cost or case. And that is the core of the issue. Backing the blue does not mean ignoring a problem that costs hundreds of black lives and billions of taxpayer dollars each year. It means understanding the core underlying issues and then acting like the public servants they're supposed to be by doing everything in their power to save the lives of their citizens as well as our hard-earned tax dollars. Follow me on Instagram at Francis M. Maxwell and on Twitter at Francis M. Maxwell. Also share the video and continue to resist.